Namaste, good afternoon. I'd like to talk about something that's close to my heart. I've been doing that a lot lately, but yesterday I had fun kind of with language and vocabulary, but today I want to talk about the most sacred thing to me now is the very ordinariness of life, the very ordinariness of myself, the very ordinariness of my practice, the very ordinariness of my awakening. And I must say that I mean ordinariness in the most extraordinary way, in the most basic, fundamental sense of being ordinary, because the condition of all of us is shared, and this is our birthright, and this is our destiny for each and every one of us. So welcome to the ordinariness of living in the light, in living in love, in living in the condition of wakefulness. And what I want to suggest is where to start. It's when you look in the mirror and you see the wrinkles and no one knows better than you, your shortcomings, your failures, your less than moments, as well as your more than moments. But what you have to do is learn to love yourself with your flaws. It's not that you're going to love yourself once you get rid of this and once you do this. It's never that. It's always as it is. It's this moment and everything that you bring to the table. So love yourself with all the flaws. And this love is what will be the route, the path. You will become one with all when you recognize, when you love yourself. That means you love everyone else. And this is the route to enlightenment, awakening. And one of the things along the way that would help you, you love yourself, you forgive yourself, you embrace yourself, you begin with yourself. So one of the things that you have to grasp and accept and love, another thing beside yourself, is that everything is always changing. If you're relaxed into this truth, that's all there is. You're awake, relaxing into the truth and acceptance of constant change and dealing with it in a state of equanimity and even keel. No matter what happens, happens. No matter what is. And along the way, probably the next thing is the thinking. Now, I mentioned in the last yesterday was really about thinking. And here's a little more about thinking. Thinking is reflected intelligence. The intellect reflects on the object and analyzes it based on the past memory and produces a thought that communicates to you information about the object. So it's not about stop thinking, because it's reflected intelligence. You reflect on the object, you analyze it based on past and momentary memory, and it produces a thought, feeling, emotion. And most importantly, it supplies information. So Pure awareness, or the next step, pure awareness or consciousness, the ocean of awareness, is a higher intelligence that sees the object directly without the need of past memory to interpret it or a thought in between to communicate information about this object. So you transcend thinking, okay? You think and you use it and you utilize it, but then once you're ready to experience, you have to go beyond thinking. Not to silence it, not to conquer it, not to even quiet it, but just to ignore it and go beyond. Consciousness receives information directly and immediately. If you embody your essence, your higher intelligence, of course, you will be able to think if needed, but most of the times there won't be any need for any thinking. You will just intuitively know what you need to know. And I've said this before. I know everything I need to know. I will know when I need to know it. And part of this, I want to leave you with my mantra here, if I may. Part of this sharing, part of what I'm sharing today is a mantra about learning to love yourself, flaws, wrinkles, and all. And this is my mantra that helped me in this process of self-love. I promised myself each night before to go to sleep that I'll be a better man today than I was yesterday. And I'll be a better man tomorrow than I am today. So trying to communicate, trying to share that this is always a work in progress. We say being and becoming is the process. Be yourself, accept yourself, move on past into just existing, just to be, just being, but always remember that your being is the promise of becoming. And this is a never-ending process. Being, and becoming is what the rest of your life becomes. And this is the ordinariness that I'm telling you to embrace, that I embrace. I live a simple life. I live a life with certain precepts and certain things that I repeat in daily. And remember that you want to transcend thinking in the sense, but you rest assured when it's time to think, you'll be able to think. When you need to think, you'll be able to think. What next? How do I do this better? How do I surrender? What's his name? What's her name? What's my goals? Fewer and fewer and fewer. And this is about embracing this ordinariness that I talked to you. Nothing is special, but nothing is more special, ironically, than the very ordinariness of being who and what and why and when you are and were meant to be.